Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome to the news live on Rupavahini Channel I. I'm Sharon Mascarenas.
And I am Dishant Virakone, and we start off by taking a look at your headlines for tonight. The Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation celebrates its 40th anniversary. No permission for a power interruption in the next 3 months. The Public Utilities Commission recommends to CEB. Health strike action suspended. The government emphasizes that the proposed surcharge will not be applicable for EPF and ETF. India hands over 40,000 metric tons of diesel. Russia begins to withdraw troops from the Ukraine border. Now, starting off with your top story for tonight. Now, the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation unfailingly fulfilling its national duty for a period of 4 decades celebrate its 40th anniversary today. Now, the people in the country embrace in high esteem the duties rendered by the national television in safeguarding the traditions while carrying forward the Sri Lanka identity to the world. The Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, established under a parliamentary committee, commenced its broadcasting on February the 15th, 1982. The Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation is a donation from the Japanese government. Becoming the pioneer in the country's television industry, the National Rupavahini introduced high standards and artistic perfection in television broadcasting. The national television continuously dedicates to fulfill all responsibilities assigned on behalf of social progression without fail as the official electronic media of Sri Lanka. The Rupavahini Corporation owns 3 channels, namely National Television, ChannelEye and Netra, delivering high-quality entertainment for the viewers. The Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, which produces programs in the 3 languages, Sinhala, Tamil and English, is the pioneer and leader in national and international live telecasts. The national television has embarked on a significant mission with the aspiration of strengthening the mutual respect, cooperation and trust among all communities to ensure the reconciliation process in the country. The national television is the broadcaster with the largest coverage in the island. The most valuable resource of this institution with modern technology is the staff, consisting of creative producers with inherent skills. The Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, awarded with many local and foreign accolades, has always offered meaningful television programs for viewers of the past as well as the present. The national television was bestowed with many accolades at the National Television Awards last year. With a constantly transforming society, the national television is in the effort to continue its successful journey with new technologies and high-quality entertaining programs while standing firmly on the country's cultural traditions, fulfilling all national responsibilities without fail.
An all-night Pirit chanting ceremony was held yesterday in commemoration of the 40th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. The ceremony was held at the corporation premises. The objective of the Pirit chanting ceremony was to invoke blessings for the nation, the people and the staff of the Rupavahini Corporation. The Pirit chanting ceremony was held under the guidance of the chief incumbent of the Kotte Sri Jayawardhanarame, Shastrapati Venerable Godamune Lankananda Thera. Minister Dalasala Peruma, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Sonala Gunawardana, the Director Board of the Corporation and the staff were present at this occasion.
Bhavato sabba mangalam
Subsequently, an almsgiving to the Mahasangha was conducted this morning. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Sonala Gunawardena, the Director Board of the Corporation and the staff were present at this occasion.
In the meantime, the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union says the national television is Sri Lanka's leading media institution, active not only in the country but also internationally. Now, the Secretary General of Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union, Dr. Javed Mutagi, made these remarks while extending best wishes for the 40th anniversary of the national television. The Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union, formed in 1964, is an organization with over 280 members in 57 countries and regions, reaching a potential audience of about 3 billion people. The Sri Lanka Rupavahini obtained the membership of the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union in the year 1982, completing 40 years in becoming a fully fledged member of the Union. Accordingly, as an active member within the Asia Vision Network of the Union, the national television distributes news related to Sri Lanka to 35 countries in the region and African, Arab and European broadcasting unions. The national television is the only media institution in the country with such prowess, awarded with many regional accolades felicitating the contributions made to the association. The national television received the award for the best breaking news in the Asia Pacific region in the year 2019.
Congratulations to everyone at SLRC from your Asia Vision broadcast colleagues. SLRC joined Asia Vision just 2 years after the corporation itself was established. It's been a strong and valued member ever since. Your 40th anniversary is such an important milestone. Our best wishes from the ABU's news department for many, many more.
My warm congratulations to everyone at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation on the 40th anniversary of your first broadcast. As a long-time member of the ABU, your membership outlines the importance you place on public service media, a vital service for all Sri Lankans. SLRC has been actively involved with ABU activities since 1982, when you joined the ABU as a full member. Our best wishes from the ABU Secretariat, Javed Mutagi, Secretary General, Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union.
Coinciding with the 40th anniversary celebrations, a collective of photographs of 7 retired Deputy Director Generals who were in charge of the engineering division of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation was unveiled at the office of the engineering division today. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Sonala Gunawardena, presided over the event. The technological responsibilities related to broadcasting from the first test transmission to present-day HD and digital technology of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation are vested with the engineering division. The television engineering technology, which gradually developed in the early years, is advancing with rapid changes at present. The first Deputy Director General of the Engineering who led the path for this journey is Rukmin Vijay Mana, and he assumed the post from the year 1982 to 1987. From there on, Shanti Fonseca, Hartley Fernando, Upali Arambavela, Dr. Amal Punchiheva, Rohan Pereira and Palitha Gallage carried out the duties vested in the Engineering Division of the National Television in the capacity of Deputy Director General.
During the early days of television in Sri Lanka, the technology being new to us, there was a lot of enthusiasm among the staff, and they worked tirelessly to develop the industry to the extent that even the Japanese were pleasantly surprised. We developed our own equipment such as teleprompter and EFP van, which also saved us foreign exchange. I'm confident that the present-day staff of SLRC will continue the good work done in the past to make SLRC a perfect television station. The immediate future will bring some exciting times to SLRC as it begins the migration to digital broadcasting. During the times prior to the start of television broadcasting in Sri Lanka, we had to choose a suitable television standard that suited the country. PAL, NTSC and CCAM were the 3 standards we had to choose from, and we chose PAL as the most suitable standard. During the recent past, SLRC was in a similar situation to choose the ideal digital television standard. I am informed that the standard chosen is ISDBT, the television standard used in Japan. Construction work is scheduled to begin soon. I congratulate SLRC on its 40th anniversary and wish all the very best going forward in the digital domain.
During the time when I was the DDG between 1997 and 2001 with the senior and other staff of SLRC, as a team we implemented the rehabilitation third project, and also we introduced NICAM and also the second program channel. So I'll wish once again Rupavahini a happy anniversary and greetings to all the current staff and the staff who served in the past and also those who are not with us today. We remember that their contribution with gratitude.
That was Dr. Amal Punjehewal sharing his best wishes. When reminiscing on the progression of the engineering division of the national television, the 4 officers were assassinated by the LTTE terrorists while engaging in duties to commence television broadcasting in the north have been remembered. Engineer Renukanta Nayaka, Gamini Jayantha, Nilantha Gunawardana and M. Karunapala sacrificed their lives during this unfortunate incident. The national television's engineering division was successful in carrying out a live telecast of the opening ceremony of the Victoria Dam as a test transmission in the year 1981 before Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation was established. The national television, which began with 2 studios, extended its capacity in 1986 with the inclusion of a 3rd studio and an editing system. The first ever live broadcasting of an international sporting event was conducted in the year 1991 with the South Asian Athletic Games in Colombo. Updating the broadcasting system with NICAM stereo technology is one of the milestones of the national television's engineering division. Under this technology, the national television is able to telecast programs in 2 languages at the same time with a heightened audio output for the first time in the history of the country. National Television's engineering division also spearheaded the establishment of Netra channel for the Tamil-speaking community as well as ChannelEye to telecast sports and English language programs. At present, the National Television's news division and all 3 studios are in the process of being upgraded with the latest technology. Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation is geared up to conduct digital transmissions with HD technology based on the Lotus Tower from the year 2023. The project currently is in motion under the grant assistance from Japan, expected to cover the entire nation by 2025. In parallel to this project, 3 recording studios with 4K technology will also be added into the national television system. Four decades ago, nearly established Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. In other stories for you, Public Utilities Commission of the Sri Lanka has issued a mandatory methodology to the Ceylon Electricity Board with the aim of this initiative to face the prevailing crisis without any power interruptions. Chairman of the Commission, Janaka Ratnayaka, made these remarks while speaking at a media briefing held today. Chairman of the Public Utilities Commission of the Sri Lanka, Janaka Ratnayaka, said that a decision has been reached over the ability to proceed ahead without any daily power interruptions for a period of 3 months. Accordingly, he said that several orders have been issued in this regard. He said that the institutions which utilize bulk supply should fulfill 4 hours of power requirement with standby generators. He also said that the residents in apartments should fulfill their power requirements for air conditioning during the period from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. with in-house generators. Furthermore, he said that state institutions have been advised to reduce the electricity consumption by 80%.
Meanwhile, the strike action launched by several nursing, supplementary and paramedical services trade unions has been temporarily suspended. Now, health professional associations has said that the strike action will be suspended from 8 a.m. tomorrow. The strike action was launched based on 7 demands, including salary anomalies, on last 7th. The Government Nursing Officers Association and its president, former UMP parliamentarian Saman Ratnapriya, suspended the strike action in accordance to an enjoining order issued by the Colombo District Court. However, other trade unions continued to engage in the strike action. However, following discussions held with Minister Kehelia Rabukwala yesterday, the trade unions decided to suspend the strike action. The Government Radiologists Association has said that its members will continue to engage in the strike action. People who had arrived at hospitals for treatments were severely affected due to the strike action even today. Meanwhile, long queues were seen near state pharmacies this morning.
The government says that Employees Provident Fund and the Employees Trust Fund will not be included in the proposal pertaining to the imposing of surcharge. Speaking at the media briefing held to announce the cabinet decisions today, Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that these institutions were included under the company category by the previous Yahapalana government. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that then government continued to function in the years 2017, 18 and 19 under the conditions of the International Monetary Fund. He said that Sri Lanka received a credit loan of $1.5 billion for adhering to such conditions. Accordingly, the minister said that the IMF insisted that the budget deficit should be reduced up to 3.5% of the GDP by 2020 with the credit loan. He added that the state income earnings should be increased in order to reduce the deficit. Therefore, he said that in order to increase the revenue, the government has to impose taxes. Accordingly, the previous government removed all tax concessions provided during Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa's presidential tenure in 2006. During this point, the minister said that the Yahapalana government included EPF, ETF and Pensions Fund into the definition of companies and included in the 2017 Inland Revenue Act. He added that this move became the basis for the public to misinterpret the proposed tax. He said that they are expecting to table an amendment to remove the EPF ETF from the definition of companies following the parliamentary approval granted for the bill on the proposed surcharge.
ප්‍රතිඥාවක් කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයට දුන්නා. බදු අධිභාර 50 කෙටුම්පත පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේදී සම්මත වෙන අවස්ථාවේදී මේ සමාගම් නිර්වචනයට අදාළ වෙන සේවක අර්ථසාධක අරමුදල හා සේවා නියුක්තයන්ගේ භාරකාර අරමුදල එයින් ඉවත් කරන බවට සංශෝධනයක් අපි පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ගෙනෙනවා. ඒ පිළිබඳ කිසිවෙකුත් අබමල් රේණුවකවත් සැකයක් සංකාවක් තියාගන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. වසර 2050 දී ශ්‍රී ලංකාව කාබන්
Minister Mahinda Amaraveera said that the relevant cabinet paper to develop a roadmap and strategic plan to transform Sri Lanka into a carbon net zero country by 2050 was presented. He added that as per the government pledge and has indicated that the Vistas of Prosperity policy statement, Sri Lanka will be turned into a carbon net zero country in 2050. Minister Dalasala Peruma said that the government has condemned the attack of journalist Chamudita Samaravikrama. He said that the police have initiated investigations into the incident. Responding to a query over a possible dissolving of parliament in March, the minister said that no such discussions had been conducted in this regard.
Now, the Cabinet of Ministers has agreed to appoint a committee to provide necessary policy recommendations and solutions to ensure constant supply of essential consumer commodities to the market without any shortages. Now, the committee will be appointed based on a decision reached by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The 7-member committee will be led by the Minister of Finance. Now, cabinet subcommittees have been appointed to negotiate with importing countries and find alternative methods to obtain essential food items and industrial raw materials and equipment required for export-oriented industries. The Cabinet of Ministers granted approval for the decision reached by the President in this regard. The Cabinet of Ministers granted approval for the government's proposal to provide 15 kilograms of wheat flour per month at a concessionary rate to 115,867 families working in the estate sector, and the relevant proposal was presented by Minister Bandula Gunawardena. The Cabinet approval has been granted to initiate a proposal presented through the budget to establish a network of home shops under the theme One Women Entrepreneur to One Village. Accordingly, a provision worth 15 million rupees has been allocated from the budget 2022. The necessary guidance for the divisional secretaries to identify relevant entrepreneurs will be provided by regional development committees. The Cabinet of Ministers has also granted approval to introduce a digital card for selected low-income earning families to purchase goods from grassroots level shopping network. The relevant proposal was presented by Minister Bandula Gunawardena. The cards, each worth 2,000 rupees, will be issued to 40 low-income earning families in each Grama Niyadari division based on the recommendations of the divisional secretary.
India has handed over 40,000 metric tons of diesel to the country at the Colombo port today. India agreed to extend $500 million worth credit loan to Sri Lanka for the purchasing of fuel. The fuel consignment delivered to the country by the oil tanker Swarna Pushp from India was handed over to the Minister Uday Gammanpilla by the Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Gopal Bagle. Minister Rohit Abegunawardena was also present at the occasion. Minister Rohit Abegunawardena said that many attempts have been made to inconvenience and criticize the government, claiming that fuel is only sufficient for 2 days and the electricity supply will be disrupted. However, he said that it has been 3 months since such claims were made.
ප්‍රකාශ කරන එක ඉතාම වැරදි. මොකද හේතුව දැන් මේ කියලාත් මාස 3ක් වෙනවා. එහෙම තෙල් නැතිවීමක් උනේ නැහැ.
And now as the global economy is trying to fight the challenges of COVID and its economic difficulties, India is committed to stand with Sri Lanka, and I am very grateful to the Honourable Minister stand with Sri Lanka.
නැවක්ම බානවා ඇති වෙන්න තොග තියෙනවා මුදල් ගෙවන ඕනම කෙනෙකුට ඩීසල් දෙන්න අපි සූදානම් ඒ විදුලියද
Responding to a query raised by journalists over the releasing of diesel quantities for the plants which were inactive in the last couple of days, Minister Uday Gammanpilla said that the supply of oil will be ensured and oil will be supplied for those who make necessary payments.
Meanwhile, the distribution of Samudhi allowance with an additional 1,000 rupees under the government's relief package was commenced yesterday. Now, accordingly, more than 1.7 million beneficiaries will receive the allowance under the package. Now, considering the prevailing cost of living in the country, the government decided to extend many reliefs for the people at the beginning of this year. Accordingly, the Finance Ministry announced a relief package worth 229 billion rupees. State sector employees, pensioners, farmers, estate workers and many other sectors will be covered from the package. 1,767,000 Samudhi beneficiary family units will be benefited from this program. Accordingly, the existing allowance of 3,500 rupees will be increased to 4,500 rupees. The allowance of 2,500 rupees will be increased up to 3,200 rupees. The Samudhi beneficiaries who received an allowance of 1,500 rupees will be increased to 1,900 rupees. Now, 4 decades ago, the newly established the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation became the first TV station in the country to begin formal news telecast. Now, our first English news readers, Eric Fernando and Noeline Hunter, today recall their memories of the first era of Sri Lanka's television news history. Eric Fernando, who later became a reputed television personality in Sri Lanka, was the first newscaster of the national television. He began reading for the English bulletins in 1982.
Rupavahini was established at Torrington Square. One day they decided to go live from Colombo 7, that is Torrington Square. That also, they picked me to be the first presenter. It used to be telecast live from Torrington Square. Obviously, I was the first news telecaster in Sri Lanka. I was the first to appear professionally as a newscaster on national television. First it was transmitted via ITN transmission and then from Rupavahini itself from Torrington Square. Rupavahini has improved tremendously. So I'm happy to have been associated with the SLRC and I wish them all the luck and success in the future.
Noeline Hunter, who later joined with Eric as the first female newscaster of the national television, played a multifaceted role as a presenter, interviewer and news producer of the English Bulletin.
The Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation was launched on the 14th of February 1982, created by an Act of Parliament on the 23rd of January that same year. I have been part of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation since day one of its operations in 1982. As one of Sri Lanka's first television presenters, I was transferred from the original television station ITN to this brand new, well-equipped, sophisticated SLRC complex. The founder chairman was the distinguished civil servant, Mr. M.J. Pereira. He was an inspiring leader who laid a solid foundation to what is now Sri Lanka's television colossus, SLRC. I commenced my work in the news division with the job title Senior News Presenter Producer, And those early days saw the recruitment of a number of new TV producers and reporters to the news division, including such reputed names as Ravinatha Aryasinghe, Arjuna Ranavana, Shirani Dissanayaka, Anjani Senaviratna, and others. Some of them have moved on to being living legends, including my friend Eric Fernando, who has the distinction of being Sri Lanka's first ever television news presenter. SLRC News first began with just one news bulletin, which was only in English, and this was scheduled at 9 p.m. The early and mid-1980s saw the introduction of many innovations to the news division. During the fledgling days of Rupavahini, live news was just a dream of the future, and all the news bulletins were pre-recorded. There were no teleprompters, and I remember trying my best to memorize the camera introductions before presentation. But later, our very talented technical personnel devised a homemade teleprompter which served the purpose. And then we graduated to the sophisticated electronic teleprompters that are used internationally today. Of course, working in the SLRC newsroom, I have had the privilege of being Sri Lanka's first television presenter to cover news items from the war zone at the time, beginning with Mullaitivu. Our bulletins at the time were of such high standards that the news presentations of Eric Fernando, the late Richard de Souza, and myself were used as training material at the Asian Broadcasting Union in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. My memorable experiences at SLRC are far too many and varied to retail on this limited time slot. The Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation has successfully progressed from strength to strength, building on the firm foundation laid by its pioneers, commencing from 1982. I am blessed to have been a part of Rupavahini, and on this 40th anniversary, I would like to convey my very best wishes to the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation for unparalleled success in the future. Congratulations and a happy 40th anniversary, Rupavahini.
Best wishes being shared there by Noelin Hunter. Thank you for those wishes. The health authorities indicate that the risk of fatalities related to persons with various complications and infected with non-communicable diseases remains high, failing to receive the booster vaccine. Therefore, the Deputy Director General of Health Services, Dr. Hemantha Herath, emphasized the importance in receiving the booster vaccine.
We know that the number of deaths are increasing at present. Yesterday 36 cases have been reported, and some people are asking whether it is Omicron deaths. We cannot 100% say whether all these cases are Omicron or not, but there are considerable number of patients who have been struggling in ICUs and dying late after 2-3 weeks. So therefore, still there will be at least some proportion of Delta infected persons also among these deaths. However, we know that the percentage of Omicron infected persons are increasing, and in coming days majority of those who are dying also will be Omicron infected persons. So whether it is Delta or Omicron, the likelihood of death is depending on your level of immunity, which is inherent to your body, and depending on your age and the other comorbidities that you all are having, and also the treatment that you are taking. So therefore, to improve your immunity, there is no other way other than getting the required vaccine. So what is important is to get your appropriate vaccine as early as possible. And I know that majority of us have already taken 2 doses of vaccine, and please take the 3rd dose also as and when the time comes.
Meanwhile, Director General of Health Services confirmed 30 COVID-19 related deaths which occurred yesterday. The Indian government donated 100,000 antigen test kits to Sri Lanka today. The relevant consignment worth 110 million rupees was handed over by the Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Gopal Bagley, to Minister Kelly Rambukwella. World Health Organization resident representative to Sri Lanka, Dr. Alaka Singh, Health Ministry Secretary Major General Dr. Sanjeeva Munasinghe and Director General of Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardena were present at this occasion.
We're taking a look at the global situation regarding COVID-19. Now, the World Health Organization has said that in several countries, high vaccine coverage combined with the lower severity of the Omicron coronavirus variant are driving a false narrative that the COVID-19 pandemic is over. Meanwhile, COVID-19 has infected more than 413 million people and has led to over 5.8 million deaths globally. Director General of the World Health Organization, Tedros Ghebreyesus, held a video conference today in which he addressed the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken and a meeting in Washington at which he expressed his gratitude for the health leadership of the United States. The COVID-19 Global Action Meeting was called by the United States on the coronavirus pandemic just 2 years after it was declared a public health emergency of international concern by the World Health Organization, the highest level of medical alert. Now, a program to plant herbal saplings was held at the National Television's garden yesterday. Now, the program, initiated by Breath Organization, was held in parallel to the 40th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation and the Valentine's Day. This program to plant herbal saplings by the Breath Organization was conducted for the third time. The main ceremony of the program was held in Hambantota. Artists and corporation staffs were present at the National Television's garden for the program. The Breath Organization had taken steps to conduct the program island-wide under the theme Life for Love. Accordingly, herbal plant gardens will be established in 25 selected schools in each district under the program. Well, that's a wrap of tonight's primetime news bulletin here at Rupavahini ChannelEye. And until we meet again next time, do take care, stay safe and good night.